Welcome to the Impact Podcast with Taiwo Balogun. Tonight is another night of learning. So today we have, we have one of the guests. In fact, tonight is another night that you're going to learn a lot. And we are looking at entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial resilience in a fast changing world. And the person that will be hosting, my host or my guest tonight, sorry, my guest tonight is a man that has a man with many hearts. So you just have to get your writing materials ready because this man is ready to download. He is super ready to do what? To download. So please connect with your friends, your family members. If they are not with you, get someone or get your mobile device now and put a call through to someone so that we can learn from the wealth of experience of this man. He is no other person than them. I used to call him doctor anyway, but I know he wouldn't want me to call him doctor tonight. So he is Mr. Rume Daniels. So you may want to ask, who is Mr. Rume? Who is Mr. Rumen Daniels? He is a training consultant and also a conference speaker with 17 years of experience in actively investing in human capital and organizations and individuals. In fact, you need to get ready tonight because this man serves as a principal partner at the Impact Global Consulting, providing HR services to a wide range of clientele across banking, oil and gas, telecoms, manufacturing, engineering, agricultural, health, non-profit, freight, and education sectors. And Mr. Rumen is a faculty member of the Leadership School, a leadership and management organization, and is also the director of Pearl Hub Schools. He has been actively involved in several startups and continues in adversary capacity to many. Okay, so let's learn more about my guest, Mr. Ruben. Are we still together?
Oh, yeah. Very
Oh,
good. Good evening, man.
good,
Thank you
good,
for
good,
having
good.
me.
Oh, so as I continue his profile, Mr. Rumen is an active member of the Human Capital Development Policy Commission of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, and
Yes.
he serves as the team leader of the Lifting Place, the I Lead movement, and convener of the Discovery Summit on campus with a purpose to raise people who will influence a society or society positively. So I'd like you to join me in welcoming Mr. Rumen Daniels. Welcome on board, sir.
Good evening
You're welcome.
and
We are
good
super
afternoon,
happy to
good
have you.
morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah, we are happy to have you, sir.
Thank you for
I-
having me on your podcast.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
In fact, we've been longing to have you for long because you see, when I see people, especially people that are of impact, I always connect with them. So the first time we connected, I was like, wow, there's something about this man that I need to bring him on board on my podcast so that our audience can learn from his wealth of experience. So welcome on board, sir. Welcome to the
Thank
Impact
you.
Podcast with Taiwo Balogun. Yeah, today,
Thank
like I
you.
said, we are looking at entrepreneurial resilience in a fast-changing world, and this is one of the topics that Mr. Rume Daniels is passionate about. So I need you to sit back and let's hear from him, Mr. Ruben. Yeah, so can you share a pivotal moment in your entrepreneurial journey that has tested your resilience as a professional, as a consultant?
Okay, good evening, everybody. Again, thank you. So we start with this question, and I like the fact that we're straight to the point with practical life experiences. Um, there are several recent and past. I'm going to share one from some 14 years ago. All right. And the reason I want to do that is because I was just transitioning from being a single person, at the time to getting married. However, I was relocating from one city to another. So I was moving out from Lagos at the time and heading into the Niger Delta in Warri, Nigeria. Um, Literally to, continue my entrepreneurial life. So the context of where I was at the time was that I was a young consultant at the time, serving with some amazing organizations. All right. And let me just mention that I had very, very senior colleagues and mentors and friends who were not so convinced that I should be relocating out of Lagos because, like I said, I was starting um, out a consulting company, literally.
Mm.
It was already in its fourth year. And at that time, I was already synergizing with a few very strategic organizations when it was time for me to move out. So, to be very open, I was moving out of Lagos primarily not to go and, restart or continue the consulting, but I was moving out to start a faith-based organization. So, in other words, there was a new additional responsibility in my life coming alongside my getting married, and so I was going to start out a faith-based organization. I was starting a family, and then I was taking my young thriving consulting career along with me, all
Wow.
right, out of Lagos, where my services were most needed at that time. My clients were all based in Lagos. I had no idea what was going to happen with me when I moved to Warri. It was not a very so as a business and as an entrepreneur at the time, I wasn't so sure of what to expect when I get to Warri. So I remember sitting in 6 Balarabe Musa. This was 14 years ago. 6 Balarabe Musa is where we have Center for Values and Leadership, and I was at that time being mentored by Professor Tommy, Pat Tommy.
Pat Tommy?
And he asked me very clearly at that time, Ruben, why do you want to throw away a young, thriving consulting career and head to an environment where people will not appreciate your value? Wow. Those were the words, and I'm quoting in verbatim.
Yeah, wow.
And I didn't have any answer. I just said, sir, I'm going to start a faith-based. So I explained. They said, oh, okay. If that is the case, then I see the reasons why. So now I have left Lagos. I've resigned from where I was serving, also running. So I was running a business side by side, a job I was working. I'd resigned and then relocated to Warri.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, it's as if all the forces of of the world were against me.
Were against you. Wow.
Nothing. I'm telling you, Mr. Balogun, nothing was working.
Wow.
At this time, I was now married. At this time, okay, so let me put it in proper context. I set up I moved into a room and a parlor. All right, so it was a very little room somewhere in town where I started up, and then the parlor was my home office. I didn't have an office space anywhere in the city. I started out in my house.
Wow.
And my wife will help with, she was very good with office, tools from PowerPoint to Excel to Word. She was amazing with them.
Wow.
So she'll help me set
that
up.
would be very, very supportive.
Yes, in fact, so she was my staff.
Yeah.
She was my first and only staff when I moved to Warri. Wow. And so she would do all the, all the printing. We had a printer in the house, in the office, so she would get everything ready. and I'll move out with my proposals. I moved out, Mr. Taiwo. I moved out with my proposals, 218 proposals I submitted.
Wow,
in
you mean
this city.
moving from
Yes.
one office to another?
From office to another, yes.
Wow.
All manner of organizations, all right? Not for profit, profit making, hospitals, oil and gas, just name it. I moved everywhere. 218. Wow. We cannot forget that number.
218.
Yes, 218 proposals for 1 year, 6 months. 1 year, 6 months. That's 18 months. I didn't have a salary. I didn't have a regular income. I was doing menial jobs at that time just to ensure that I could help and support my young family. I had books for sale. Anywhere there was something to do, I'll go and volunteer and just do and just hope I'll get paid. I'm telling you, it was an underutilization of my mind, because at that time I considered my mind as my greatest asset. And for those of us who are in the consulting business, we sell services literally that are intangible. You have to experience it, in training or by way of a consulting idea, before you can actually get the benefit of it. And so there was no opportunity to give expression to that at all in any way. Wow. And our company had no clients, no customer, and of course, in Lagos too, at that time, because I had resigned and I was not getting a salary. A few of the companies who I was doing business with already knew I'd relocated out of town. So it was as though no job, I didn't get anything as well from Lagos.
Wow.
So while I was from Lagos, from Warri, I was, without clients for 18 straight months.
No referral. There was no referral. Wow.
There was no referral, especially for my city in Warri, because at this time, no organization had experienced us. So there was no need to even give a referral. How do you refer something you had never experienced?
But what now gave you, what inspired you to now become, to continue? Because looking at the startup, it could be very, very discouraging. So what gave you that inspiration,
In fact, I like the fact that you asked this question. I had no idea I was going to share this experience, because once in a while I get to share the story, and I share the story not just for the resilience, but also for this very, reason. You've asked what gave you that to go on. I'm going to say, for starters, already my mindset was already ready. I had an idea something like this was going to happen, but I had no idea it was going to take 18 months. I was ready to stay without, the opportunity to give expression to what we're able to do. I was ready to wait for as much as 6 months. So I'd prepared, I'd saved, But what was in my savings had already gone out. And at this time, I need to mention, and I want to mention this for anybody on this call now or who will ever watch this, all right? As a young entrepreneur who is, going to get married eventually, please don't just marry for beauty. Marry somebody who has purpose, who understands where you're heading, and who has the characteristics or the capacity to support your dream, as well as you ready to support hers.
Please say that again. I think you need to say that again. You need to emphasize.
Yes, I will.
That.
So if you're a lady and you're an entrepreneur, you're the startup entrepreneur here, be willing and ready. Of course, we know that ladies are the support in the context of, a lot of us faith-based people. But you have to understand, all right? And I've said this a lot of time. I give an example. A lot of people talk about this lady who refused to stand up on the bus. What's her name now? Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about Rosa Parks today, but do not know that Rosa Parks' journey as an activist did not start when she got married. She started out as a single person. And so when it was time for her to marry, she got married to another person who will need her kind of characteristics to support him. So Mr. Barrister Parker, she married a lawyer who was also a well-known faith-based
Yes.
activist. So she submitted to somebody who she could support his assignment, and she was wired for his life.
Wow.
So that's for the lady. But for the guy, in our own context, me and you now, we're married, but I'm saying this for any single who will listen to this in future. Understand that it's important to not just marry for beauty, you must marry for characteristic.
Wow.
The capacity of a woman who is willing and able to understand the journey that you are about and is willing and ready to support that dream.
Wow.
While at the same time, I want to add, you ready also to support her dream. I'm telling you, it's a two-way street.
But
right?
I need to come in here, Mr. Rume. You know,
no, Dr. Rume is fine at this point. and sorry, if you don't mind, I know that you are about to ask me a different question, but please allow me answer this question by just mentioning something very strategic here.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So, ask me, how did I survive 18 months without pay as a married couple, as a married man? I mean, there's no business happening. You're not finding fulfillment doing what you love. What do you do at that point? So, number one, I say this to a lot of young people. Your biggest job is not to go to your office. Your biggest job every day is to work on yourself. So here I was, every single day, I was raring to go. And I was just hitting my chest. God. Just one opportunity. And here I was, honestly speaking, I was saying, God help the company that will first open their doors. I would transfer all my aggression on them.
Wow.
And
you were
so I was
so aggressive.
I was getting ready. I was hungry and ready to go.
Wow.
All right. But then this is the one part I want to mention. And for real, I was worse than an infidel. At some point, I couldn't provide for my home, but I'm grateful for the gift of a supportive wife and woman. That's why I mentioned what I mentioned. She was a teacher. She was teaching computer. She was a computer tutor in a school here in Warri. And then, of course, she was also a French tutor as well. So she was an educator doing this and then doing home lessons, and all of that. Now, I want to mention something, and I want it to be on record. I'm not afraid and I'm ashamed to say this.
Okay.
For 1 year, 6 months, my wife closed the entire month, received her salary, put it inside a brown envelope, and brought it to the house every day. Don't forget, my office was at home. So at the end of the month, she would bring her salary for the month.
Wow.
And drop it in my hands and say, please, sir, that's my income for the month. I'm telling you,
my heart is praying for her now.
No, see, till I go to be with the Lord, I am grateful for that. It was such an amazing thing.
Wow.
To watch every single time. And then she said this, she says, I know who I got married to. Said, I know that it's just a matter of time.
Hallelujah.
I just want you to know that I'm there for you and I'm going to support you to the very end. And this will pass. She said that to me every single time.
Wow.
So how did I go through that time? Support system.
Did you get that? I can see your comment to Bestie Entertainment. I know you'll be very, very happy to hear this story. You are saying, wow. Okay. Thank God you are.
By the way, I took nothing from that money. I just simply gave it back to her because I knew she was going to use it for the house. And I told her thank you every time. Gave her a warm embrace.
Wow.
And I said thank you. Now, this is how that story ends so that you understand one of the greatest seasons in my life was that drought of no jobs for 18 months.
18 months. And you said you have 230 proposals.
218 proposals.
Wow.
218 proposals. And the 18th month, I got a strange call. Until tomorrow, I have no idea who gave this contact. They just said, are you Rume Daniels? Please, we're calling for a trainer. We have this stuff, this to do. We have this conference coming up and want you to speak. So I sent my email, they sent the letter. I went there to speak um, for an hour. It was an hour engagement.
Okay.
And then I got, at that time was a Sterling Bank check. I got a Sterling Bank check. All right. I don't want to call the figure. I don't want to, but
Okay.
it was something I had not seen for months.
Wow.
I was used to seeing bigger checks, but this was the first time I was being paid in Warri, and it was massive.
After 18
So I went
months.
back after 18 months. So I went back home without going to the bank and waited for my wife to come back home.
Wow.
Yeah. So when she arrived, I gave her a hug, told her how the event went. She was very excited. Then I brought out the envelope and gave her.
Wow.
She brought out the check and she said, amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow, 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 wow.
She said, I'd always known this was going to happen. Then these were her words. I'm quoting her verbatim.
Wow.
She said, I go to work every day and earn XYZ. You go to work for 1 hour and you earn 6 months of my salary in 1 hour. Who does that?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
She said, and that was the game changer. From that moment on, that was the first referral I got. I kept getting referrals until right now, we don't have space right now.
Wow.
So that was that. I just want to stress that was one of the most, resilient moments of my life, really.
Wow.
At that time.
No wonder you are passionate about this. When we were talking about this program, I told you, I asked you, I said, which of your best topics would you like to share with us? And you said, which topic are you passionate about? And when you gave this, I said, okay, no problem, we'll go with this. Hey, audience, if you are just joining us, Oluwa Achop, I can see your comment. You're saying, I love you for whom you are.
I love you too, sir.
Thank you. Tobesti, I can also see your comment that your heart pray for your wife. No problem. Amen. My heart is praying for my wife too. But we need to appreciate this woman. We appreciate you if you are watching us live. Mrs. Rume Daniels, we appreciate you from the depth of our heart. I'm appreciating you all the way from Texas. God bless you for being a supporting system to our brother. Thank you so much. So now let's dive in deeper. How do you define resilience in the context of entrepreneurship?
Okay, so let me be quick to stress on the fact that the subject is entrepreneurial resilience.
Yes.
All right. It's not just entrepreneurship resilience. Now, when you say entrepreneurship, of course, it keeps the discussion within the context of just business startups and all of that. But I want to hope that in future or even now, even if you don't run a business, but you are a professional who works, for an organization, whether it's a profit or a non-profit, you will find this very useful one way or the other. So I want to define entrepreneurial resilience in this manner. For starters, I like to say that it is possible for a person to be entrepreneurial without being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is one who starts a business, but an entrepreneurial person may not start a business, may or may not. All right. So some of us on this call may have heard of the word intrapreneur before. We say an intrapreneur is one who literally engages the principles of entrepreneurship in his everyday life as a professional, as a worker. An intrapreneur doesn't own the business. Yes, an employee. He didn't start the business. He doesn't own the business, but he works in the business with the mindset of an owner, with a problem solving, with a leadership approach to doing stuff.
Thank you, sir. So the problem solving caught my attention. Yes, continue, sir. Continue.
So with that being said, the entrepreneurial mind is literally a problem solving mind. The entrepreneurial mind is an innovator's mind. The entrepreneurial mind is one who has a leadership mentality within the context of what he or she does. The entrepreneurial mind or the entrepreneurial person is one who literally, engages, like we've already mentioned, and I want to be very specific again. In fact, if we stay around the domain of problem solving, all right, a problem solving mentality, an owner's mentality. And I use the word owners with every sense of responsibility, because not everyone who works for a business comes with the mindset of an owner's, mentality, in the sense that they're just there to pass time. They're
Past
just
time
there to
and get
own a
something.
salary, to
Yes,
get a salary,
salary.
get something. But they're not really there to see how the business is sustainable and how it thrives beyond their time at that venture. All right. So an entrepreneurial person is one who comes in, to collaborate with others, to add value to the system, to bring some level of innovation. As a matter of fact, to make what they met much better than they met it. You join a department, you join a company, you join, whether it's a startup or a multinational, you engage with that organization with the attitude of improving the system and not just walking there the way, you're supposed to, the
Just
way you
like,
met it, literally.
yeah. But sir, there's something
Yeah.
that is like common now in our system. When we look at the educational system now, a lot of people are into that system in terms of setting up a school just for the sake of the business. Why some people
Yes.
becomes a teacher because there's no other alternative, no option.
Very
And
true.
then how do we address this issue in terms of now some of them are not giving their best. They are not giving their best to support the business. Why some are not even part of the system. So how do we address those type of people?
Okay, so please permit me to come to this new question
Okay.
while I conclude on the last one, on the previous one.
Okay, sir.
So I just spoke of what the entrepreneurial mindset is. When you could now speak about entrepreneurial resilience is literally, about the ability of any professional to bounce back from adversity, to bounce back from challenges. Literally, it's the capacity of the entrepreneur or the intrapreneur. In this case, let's put them together. It's the capacity of the professional to recover, to bounce back, to overcome setbacks and challenges.
Wow.
So, yes, that's literally what resilience is about. So you have a spring, for those of us who understand cars, that spring that makes up the shock absorber, or you see a spring, you press it down, it comes back. You press it down, it comes back. That's resilience right there. That's resilience. That ability to bounce back. And to bounce back, not just, as a broken vessel, but to bounce back with a mindset from learning from the process, no matter how brutal it was. That is resilience right there. And I want us to use that as, that understanding as a bedrock of some of the things we'll talk about going forward. However, with this question of, schools not having the right people coming, teaching is one of the easiest jobs to get. And interestingly, my wife and I have run a school for some time. She's been an educator. I've been an educator myself over the years.
Okay.
But so we know that it is true that there are loads of people who are in the teaching profession because they haven't gotten what they want yet. As a matter of fact, it looks like a way of passage to whatever it is they want to do eventually. So many people are in the profession without passion, and painfully, a lot of leaders of tomorrow are exposed to many minds that have no passion for the job. So the question was, how do we take care of this?
Yes.
From the standpoint of one who has been around the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, a lot, there are about 12, 13, 14 policy commissions. we have one that is an education policy commission. And I can tell you that a lot of the work that the Nigerian Economic Summit Group does, a lot of Nigerians have no idea what it is about.
Yes.
But there's a policy think tank for both government and private sector. So in other words, let me just mention practically what I mean.
Okay.
There are a lot of policies that you see being passed in the House of Assembly, both at at the Senate and at the House of Rep, that were initiated in the boardrooms of the NESG.
Okay,
within the Buhari administration alone, I can tell you that over 500 policies that went into the House. So over 500 literally came out of NESG. One of the ones I was privy to that was literally worked on right in front of me was that bill that was eventually passed by Buhari, as we called it, not too young to run.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. I was sitting in the boardroom at Ikoyi, at the NSG office in Ikoyi, when we drafted that bill. Okay. All right, when it was sent to Abuja. And I was sitting in front of the news on Channels TV the night it was passed, and I was screaming.
Wow.
All right. And I was shouting and telling my wife, amazing, that's that. And a lot of those bills are just like that. So why I'm saying this is policy frameworks will be a good place to guide and to, manage this space of education, okay. And painfully that has to come from government, right? And a lot of people, of course, in government are not doing their job, but that's that. However, outside of government, for those who literally, so it's one thing to even have teachers that are not passionate. The dangerous part is to have a school owner that just set up a school just to make money. That's even the more dangerous part.
That's the most dangerous part of the whole stuff now.
Yes. Because it's one thing for you to be a passionate school owner, and then you have people who are not passionate in your system. It means that you can literally take your time to train them.
Sure.
Yes, because I've seen this happen a lot. You can train for passion, you can train for skill. In fact, by way of, systems and quality control, you can get somebody who's not so passionate about teaching to do your bidding, and they'll do it right because they need to be paid. But if the situation is that the person who owns that school, who founded that school, just got money, built up some buildings and just put people in there, it's a worse scenario because people will not do their job.
Yes, and that's where, sorry to cut you, sir. And that's where I think even we have a lot to do. A lot of parents needs to be educated. Most of the parents now are being carried away by the edifice, the structure, the packaging, the branding of such school without going into deep research or extensive research to know if the owner of this school or is passionate about what they are doing. And most of the time you see them, they have more pupils than those that are passionate about what they are doing. You see, the system is becoming something else. But
very true. And those are some of the schools, especially my part of the country here. Some of those schools are schools where when it's time for external exams, the parents pay money, they go and sort out and get exams, So you just see people who were not properly taught, but they are seeing their learners graduating with the best results, and you know that there's something wrong somewhere. And a lot of parents are okay with that. They're happy with that because, again, it's a reflection of a decaying society. So the industry is the education industry is really a reflection of the state of the nation. It's not just in every sector you will see a decay somewhere. So it's not just the educational system. But why this concerns us is because the educational system is where you mold leaders. And interestingly, once you miss it there, you're literally saying that the society should continue in a cycle of inability to deliver the best results in terms of capacity to lead and to be innovative and to be resilient. So it's a whole lot. Resilience can be taught. Entrepreneurial resilience can be taught in the classrooms, all right? And but that capacity to deliver that, once it's not there, that's an issue. But again, the entire educational space is a reflection of where the country is at the moment. And it's painful. There's so much that we need to do at the moment.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, sir. Oh, to Bestie, I can see your comment that your biggest job is not to go to the office. Yes, says Dr. Rume.
Yes. My greatest job is to work on myself every day.
To work on, yes, every day, but to work on yourself every day.
Sometimes you hear
I like the way
young people who's
thank you. Sorry, sir. I like the way you are sharing it on the group. To Bestie, you also added quoted by Dr. Rumen Daniel. Dr. Rumen Daniels. Thank you so much, to Bestie, for that wonderful job. Now, the doctor, I want to ask. Now, with the business landscape that in Nigeria, the business landscape is now in this country and in Africa at large, because now we notice that a lot of startups, when they get funded, get funded, and after some times you just see that they fold up, they pack up after getting a lot of millions of dollars. Now, how do you think? Because I listened to an interview by one of the startups, and he said after they got funded, his co-founder Japa to America. So now, how do we address this? Because startup in Africa is becoming something else, is booming. And on the side of the investors, now let's say venture capitalists, now on their part, with our own mindset, do you think there is a connection when it comes to problem solving?
Okay, so now let me mention very quickly that for starters, it's not today that trend started. We had in time past where older entrepreneurs got monies, or in fact, those times it was not grants. Those times it was loans, even loans.
Wow!
It was not even angel investors. It was loans from a bank. They got those loans, and then they went to use it to buy cars, and then married more wives. Yeah. And put the businesses in jeopardy. So we've had such things in time past, and I have practical and real life examples. However, in our world today, there's grant money.
Yes.
There are angel investors.
And grant money is free money.
Yes, grant money is free money. And painfully,
wow,
there are loads of people getting these grants and are not delivering the impact projects that they promised to deliver. Yes.
Which is so very detrimental.
Again, it's still a reflection of the value system. How do you, as an entrepreneur, with a vision to impact on the society, to add value, to solve problems, even if you are a non-profit, you have a project already. You are reaching out to Mercator, you are reaching out to USAID, to deliver on certain impact projects, and you get the funds. For instance, like Tony Lumi give $5,000 US dollars, right? I've seen people use those $5,000 to buy cars. I've seen them. I've been a Tony Lumi mentor for the past couple of years. Yes. Wow. I've seen a number of people who use those money to go and marry. In fact, just like you said, I've seen a few Tony Lumi recipients of those $5,000 grants travel out of the country because they felt, oh, that was my flight tickets.
$5,000?
It is only somebody who has no vision for tomorrow who does that.
Yes.
It's only somebody who, I mean, how can you be talking about $5,000 when that is just seed capital? That's seed capital.
Please emphasize on that seed capital, because
it is seed.
Some of our audience here are like, they are like small business owner. So maybe you break down that seed capital a bit so that they can understand, so that we can all be on the same page.
You see, though, seed is just what it is.
Yes.
You know, a farmer takes seeds to the farm and plants it. All right. I'm massively involved in agriculture right now. Our farm is at Ogun State in Owusobo.
That
Massive. In
that
fact,
means we have a lot in common.
I'm telling you, at the moment, we just shipped some of our products to the farm.
Wow.
In another 2 weeks, there's another set of harvest. So what I'm trying to say is this: it's amazing how when you watch what agriculture does, you buy a. Let me just take you buy a pack of seeds that cost just 23,000 naira. That was maybe from Netherlands or somewhere. A set of tomato seeds. 23,000 naira was all that seed cost. All the inputs into the farm, all right, put all the inputs. The harvest of 23,000 plus the other input of the, extra, for instance, we grow non-organic products.
Okay.
Put all the inputs in, all right? Once it's time for harvest and you see the baskets filled with those products and then shipping those products out to the farm and people buying them.
Wow.
You need to see how joyful. Sometimes I used to wonder. I'm amazed that the technology that the Creator, the Almighty, had is quite humorous.
Very.
He puts what he called a harvest into tiny seeds. So when somebody takes $5,000, Tonomulu's foundation says, take $5,000. We want you to use that seed capital. You now take the seed and use it to jackpot. It's like taking the seed to eat. It's like eating your harvest, eating your future. That's what you've done.
The money. And to buttress your point, sir, what it actually means is that go and trade with this money, like the parable of the talents.
Oh, yes.
You understand?
Oh, yes.
Let's see what you can come up with. Let's see what you can do.
Multiply
with this. You understand? Even if you don't make profit, at least that you are still going, you are resilient about what you are doing. You understand? You are rugged. You are still in business with it. You have a lot of chances to get more seeds. That is just it. Let me read one of our comments. Okay, Adenike or Odunuga, self-development is key. Yeah, integrity issue. Yeah, we really need to develop character as we empower with skills. Thank you so much. Thank you. And she says, grant givers like sweet talkers, gift talkers, sweet talkers. Sorry. Okay, yes, they like that, but in the long run, we are not helping ourselves, and this is one of the reasons why you see the way they see us outside. Like I flew in to Texas 2 days ago, and I was at the airport waiting for my Uber to pick me home, and there was an old man beside me, and he said, "Oh." He spoke Spanish to me, and I said, I don't understand Spanish. He said, "Oh, where are you from?" I said, Nigeria. It was like, "Oh, Nigeria, Lagos? Whoa, your women are beautiful." I said, "That's the first thing why is it that's the first thing you that came to your mind?" After that, I was expecting more, and I knew the next thing you would say. You understand? Like the way they see you with Nigerian passports. That's just it. So, and these are some of the negative impact of what some of us are doing, like getting such seed and going out jackpot with such money, go and build another house or marry another wife, does not help the society at large. It doesn't help our country or our continent at large. This is some of the things that, yes, we need to work on. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Rume. I really appreciate your presence today. It's been very, very engaging. So I also want you to I want us to look at mindset and strategies now. Mindset and strategies. And how do you think professionals should maintain a positive mindset during challenging times, like like what we are facing in Nigeria presently? How do you think, professionals, how should they maintain a positive mindset in a situation like this?
All right. So for starters, I need to say that I'm a person of faith. I'm a faith-based person, and I've been since I was 12.
Wow.
I know, in fact, before I was 12, I was already more or less like a church person. But
Okay.
I consciously, deliberately decided that I wanted to follow the Creator with my heart.
Mm.
And I literally asked him into my heart. I was 12 going on 13 when I did that. And I'll never forget that moment in my life.
Mm.
Now, why am I saying this? I would love to say, I meet professionals every day, every single day. And outside of their jobs and their offices, in fact, I don't know if there's even someone on this call right now. All right, somebody who just asked me the last 48 hours from one of the companies I did some work with. She says, "Please, I need you as my mentor." And I have a particular recording on YouTube that I've put there for many years. I was speaking to a set of 20-something proteges of mine one day,
Okay.
teaching them what mentoring is about. In fact, I called it developing the art of mentoring.
Mm.
And so while I was speaking to them that day, it just dawned on me that we're not recording. So I took my phone and just dropped it in my pocket and I recorded it. It was an audio recording. So at the end of that thing, I listened to it and realized that the intention of this was to teach these people how to follow a mentor and get the most out of the mentoring relationship.
Okay.
But many people coming after now will need it. So I had to upload it on YouTube.
Okay.
And since then, I think for some 6 years or so, I don't even know if it's up to 6 years.
Let's have your YouTube. Let's have your YouTube channel.
It's just Rume Daniels.
Okay, audience.
It's just Rume Daniels. And
please, audience, go to YouTube after this show and follow Dr. Rume.
But if you have a pen, I want you to write down this topic. It's called the ART of developing mentoring relationships.
Okay.
I want you to please, I beg you, if you're on this call, if you ever listen to this, I want you to listen to it. Like I said, I recorded it with my phone, so you might be wondering why. The art of developing mentoring relationships.
Okay.
It's one of the most beautiful things I have asked professionals all over. So every time someone calls me and says, I need a mentor, I need you to be a mentor, or I want to get this mentor, I first show them that. All right.
Okay.
So just this evening, the lady came. I don't know if she's on this call. All right, she's a surveyor of a construction company in Abuja called Cayman Construction. If she's on this call, please let her type in the. If she's not, just say I'm here.
Okay.
But what I did was I asked her to join this call. I also sent her the link of that thing. So it brings a lot to answering that question about how challenging times can dealt with. Okay. And I spoke about being a person of faith. I can tell you this for certain. For many of us who are people of faith, you know that when you fail in the days of adversity, it means your strength is little.
Is little.
All right. Yes. In fact, another same the Holy Book, but another translation of it says that if you fall to pieces during a crisis, then there was nothing much to you in the first instance. I'll say that again. It says if you fall to pieces in a crisis, then there was nothing much to you in the first instance. In other words, there was nothing wrong with the crisis. The crisis is not the problem. It is the one who is dealing with the crisis that is the issue. Wow. Because we have no control over our surroundings. We have no control over our externals. Those are forces beyond our control. A tenable policy, you have no control about. Sure. A Senate passing a bill, you have no control over. The price of fuel, as of today in Warri where I am this night now, in Warri as I speak, fuel is 800 naira per liter. In fact, we have no control over that. There were elections, local government elections were held in Warri today. 24 hours to the elections, they increased the price of the fuel price. Wow. All right? No human being has control over that. Yes. But there's one thing we have control over. We have control over ourselves, the capacity to respond or to react to those challenges. Absolutely. All right? And that is the truth. So if I go by what the Holy Book says, people are fainting, people are collapsing. Just a few days ago, painfully, we lost a very dear professional who was one of the founding MDs or managers of Conga. literally committed suicide by jumping out of his high-rise in Lekki. All right, and then we heard that, of course, hearsay is that a lot was going on. Painfully, these issues are real. Internal issues are real, but they are triggered from the outside. So a lot of us are dealing with a lot. It's not just the price of gari and beans and rice and transportation that is the issue. Some people are dealing with issues beyond that. Some people have emotional issues that they're dealing with. All right. But the capacity to handle all of this is not a function of what is happening to us. It's a function of who we are on the inside. That's why, again, I'm going to go back to that statement that our greatest job is not to work on our job. Our greatest job is to work on ourselves. Why? Because the more we work on ourselves, the more we become able to deal with the challenges of life. The more it is the ability to bounce back, resilience, that bounce back ability, all right, is a function of who we are on the inside. Some people will go through the same things that we are going through and they will give up. Some people will give up on their businesses, all right? This company I'm telling you about that I brought to Warri to start, I started it in my undergraduate days. I was in university in 300 level when I started that company. A few years later, one of my mentors became chairman of it. I've run that company consistently for about 20 years. Wow. Consistently without stop. Yes. Wow. It's the same company right now that is now dealing with Chevron, that is dealing with multinationals. But it was not so at the beginning. Why? No company that big like a Chevron will want to do business with a startup that has not proven himself. Sure. So it's just a matter of time. The more you add value to yourself as a person, as a team, as a people, as an organization, the more you build structure, the more you become, of course, the referral comes in. And someone spoke of integrity earlier. The more you are able to deliver on the value you promise to give, that's brand integrity. And that happens with time. It happens the more we work on ourselves, really. Sure. So for professionals living in Nigeria at this time, one of the ways I'm going to say that you're going to be able to deal with the issues is to draw from the strength on your inside. And, please, I hope I'm willing. Can I quote scriptures?
Absolutely. I'm also
beautiful.
I'm a Christian.
Good. I'm a Christian, but I'm mindful of the fact that your podcast might beautiful. So the Holy Book says Christ in me is the hope of glory. I like for us to draw on that hope. That's what I'm saying. So if you are a faith-based person in Nigeria today, one of the quickest ways to draw strength is to draw on the hope that you have on the inside, which is Christ in you. Yeah, I want us to draw on that. That's the quickest one. The second one I wanted to draw on, which is why I gave a recommendation for that, the art of developing mentor relationship. Okay. If you don't have a mentor, it might be very tough. One of the things I've done in recent time is to speak to my mentors. All right. Speak to my mentors long before even the last 1 year happened. I was so fed up. Wow. And I mean, I was so fed up. I was tired. Of my mother's 4 siblings, I'm the only one that literally refused to travel out of the country. Wow. I had to stay back. And not only, in fact, my siblings were asking me, of every city in Nigeria, why Warri? Why not Abuja? Why not Lagos? Because, of course, they knew what my value was about. But at some point, I got tired of the country. I got so fed up. Wow. After... Oh my God, I don't want to go into details, but I remember sitting in the office of my mentor and I said, sir, now I'm ready to run away. In fact, to any part of the world, including Ukraine. I don't want, I want to leave now. I am fed up. All the work we have been doing with young people, they're all disappointed with what is happening now. And the man looked at me and my mentor said these words. He said, the same thing that is making you angry is the same thing that's made me say I'm going on sabbatical to Harvard until I'm tired. I'm leaving. Wow. I'm not coming. He said, but when I made up my mind to leave, I went back home, cried to God. All right. Now this is when if I was to tell you the name of the person who was telling me this, you understand where I'm coming from. It was a political situation. Right? And this person, this my mentor, had run for presidency twice in the country. But one of the things, and I'm talking about Prof. Tommy now,
So,
and one of the things
Pat
that he said
Tommy.
is that he went back, literally spoke to himself and built strength back, literally. All right. I spoke to another mentor of mine who, at that time I was dealing with some other issues. And then of course I drew strength. All right. There's a whole lot we deal it in business.
Sure.
And every time we go through a very, very tough time in business, one of the things my wife and I would do first, after we've prayed about these issues, we also speak to the right mentor that is able to address the unique situation we're dealing with.
I need to come in. I need to come in there, sir. Yes. After you have prayed, you also speak to mentors. In fact, I'd wanted to ask how important is a support system in your resilience journey. And and when I say support system, you just mentioned when we started, you mentioned your wife. I'd wanted to ask support system in terms of mentors, peers, family. But thank God you started with that story, which if you don't start with us, Prophet Precious, thank you so much for joining us all the way from the United States of America. Thank you so much. Yes, powerful. Thank you, sir. Yes. So, Bestie, your session is so engaging. I'm enjoying your story. Don't worry. Watch the replay. So now, but to the younger generation, you see, it's like a lot of people are missing it. It's like they are missing it when it comes to mentorship. Many people don't really understand what mentoring is all about.
Yeah.
So I think you need to help us for the sake of the Gen Z, in quotes, the Gen Z.
Okay, I'm just going to say a little, but I beg you, I have recommended something.
Yes.
The art of developing mentoring relationships. It's almost 2 hours.
Please go to after this show. You need to subscribe to Dr. Rumen's YouTube channel.
Let me say this. When you are done listening to it, all right, you won't even just chat me up.
Okay.
Look for anywhere on social media and just chat me up, and you realize that some of us grown-ups, have misconstrued the concept and the principle of mentoring over time, and also have misused it. So let me mention that personally, I have wasted mentoring relationships in the past.
Same with me.
I have abused mentoring relationships in the past. I messed up mentoring relationships in the past. I met big dignitaries, and for some people now, Gen Zs want to just take a picture with you and go and post it on their social media.
Oh, God bless you, sir. This selfie
of the want to do. and I need to mention this very, very, very quickly. This is an impact channel.
Yes.
I heard this many years ago. One of my mentors, I was attending Youth Entrepreneurship and Leadership Conference at Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. I was still an undergraduate at the time. It was put together by Gotney, Linus Okore at the time.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to attend it. And in that meeting, I think I heard, I'm going to quote him now. This is Fela Durtoye.
Okay.
It was in that meeting. He was speaking with Tom Segoe, who was then MD of Transcorp. And then the late Gamal Onosode, former chairman of Etel, and then Prof. Tommy was there. But I quote Fela Durtoye. This was what I heard him say that day. He said, "Don't seek to shake the hands of great men." He said, "Shake the land and great men will look after you or look for you."
Shake the land. Wow.
Yes.
And great men would look for you. Don't shake the hands of great men.
He said, "Don't seek to shake the hands of great men. You go and shake the land and they will look for you." He said, every great man has something. And after that time, I decided to go. And it was in that same conference because Fela Durtoye and I were part of what we call ACES Nigeria. ACES was started by himself, Nia Adesanya, who was the president of ACES at that time. Alliance for Change Empowerment Speakers.
Mr. Nia Adesanya.
Yes,
Okay.
Adesanya.
Okay.
And at the time, I was trying to get him to my school at that time to become to be a guest speaker in one of my annual conferences in school. And
Okay.
then all of a sudden, fella said, "Look, during the break, I walked towards him and says, I know you've been trying to get me. I'm traveling out of the country. I can't still make this one."
Mm.
Then he told me something. He said, "Why not become the person people want to listen to?"
Go to.
Said,
Wow.
go and put yourself on the poster.
Mm.
That's what he told me. That was the first time I put myself on the poster. I was running an NGO in school at that time.
Wow.
That's the first time I went back to school. I put myself on the poster.
So in other words,
fact,
be the go-to.
He said, become the person people want to listen to.
Wow, 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 wow.
He said, if you don't try, how would you know? Anyway, that's that. And that's the power of mentoring right there. I'm telling you, I've never looked back since then.
Wow.
I can't downplay the role of mentoring in my life.
Same with me.
If there are many principles that have worked for people, for me, mentoring will be top 2.
Wow.
All right. Meetings, books, mentoring. In fact, I'll summarize it as relationships or people and information, books and conferences.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the things that have worked for me. For instance, I met the late Dr. Miles Monroe. I was still a teenager. Before I turned 15, I sat down in this conference at Glow Tabernacle in Ibadan, in a conference that Gandhi Olaoye put together called Sex, Lies, and Your Soul. The later Bimbo Dukoya was speaking then,
yes.
Sam Adeyemi at that conference, Al Gurokwe from the UK, wow. And then Gandhi himself. I was sitting there just listening to Dr. Miles Monroe in that meeting. And I'm just saying that I don't think I know of so many things. I know many principles, but one of the principles that you don't want to joke with as a young professional, as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to go somewhere and not go through the rigors of doing it yourself and making all the mistakes, you need mentors. So I'm sure someone will be asking me, but people don't have my time, people don't do this, don't want to. Please go and listen to that thing. I will tell you, mentors are waiting. It's just that they are waiting for the right kind of people.
Yes.
They've also been burnt. They've also been disturbed. I remember, for instance, when Prof. Utomi decided to be my mentor, these were his exact words. I'll quote him. He says, anybody who must eat with the elders must learn to wash his hands clean.
Wow.
I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I said, yes, sir.
Oh, Mama, what for? And I heard it. I say, yes, sir. I say, yes, sir.
But this Gen Z doesn't want to forward us.
No, Gen Z wants it sharp. Quick. But I am grateful. I'm grateful. To be fair to Gen Zs, I'm mentoring a number of them now.
Wow.
I've also sent them to that link.
In fact, I need to do more on that aspect, because I used to be I used to mentor a lot of them, but lately, the way they think, the way they act, the way they behave at times, you just look at them. But thank God I have one of my mentees here. Tobesti is one of them, and I am super happy for him. God bless you, Toby.
We have to be. Tobesti, God bless you. Thank you for joining and for being a crucial example of the fact that we don't waste our time. I've learned a big lesson now, right? Every Gen Z that looks like that was, in fact, at the time when I had them in my payroll, I used to be very frustrated. I almost sacked a number of them. And then I personally went to do a research on the characteristics of the Gen Z.
Wow.
Why are they like this? After remember the principle we shared earlier.
Yes.
You don't have control over how people behave. You only have control over yourself. So one of the things I chose to do was to love Gen Zs that were working with me. I chose to love them despite all their excesses.
Yes. Wow.
But besides loving them, I had to also choose to understand them. For starters, it is cheaper to pay a Gen Z to work with you.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
It is cheaper to pay a Gen Z to work with you. All right? Nigeria happened.
Abio. We understand.
So
We
it is it
understand.
is it is cheaper to pay a Gen Z to work with you because they are not yet seasoned.
Mm.
So if you're going to get quality people to work with you, you either employ the best hands or you employ the not so best hands and
And
prepare
train
them.
them. Yeah.
It takes time to grow people. People don't have that time. Some people don't even know how to grow people.
Sure.
So I have to tell myself, since I am a human capital developer, since I'm in the business of human capital development, why shouldn't I be patient with the Gen Z? Why shouldn't I invest in them? So I can tell you for free, sir, that I know a lot of Gen Zs that are doing very well.
Wow.
As in very, very well. Some of them are amazing entrepreneurs, rugged, resilient entrepreneurs.
Very smart people, smart guys.
Yes.
So let me quickly read what I have here. Adenike Odunuga, thank you. She says, pray for the youth in Nigeria. The bad role models are mentoring them more overtly than or covertly. We will do more. We pray to God for God to help us. And this is what we are saying. You see, I hope to, yeah, I believe in collaboration. I believe so much in collaboration. And that was why, the first time we met at Lagos Business School, I was like, I know there's something about this person. And, I don't know why we were on the same table. Don't know. And I don't even know that Afo Joseph is one of your mentees. So when he saw my pictures, he was like, wow, my two powerful mentors. Well, like I was like, he was now chatting me up and telling me a lot about you. I said, wow, I need to get close to this man. And that was how
now before Afo met you, all right. Before Afo met you, all right. See, that's an example of a hungry entrepreneur.
Very hungry.
I'm grateful. So what both of us are seeing that guy achieve is not a mistake. In fact, if he was not doing what he's doing, we'll be surprised.
Yes.
No. I can't spare. I can't even. There's no event I put up and Afo is not present.
You will be there.
Paid event, you'll be there. Paid, you'll pay. You'll be the first to pay.
You
So
know
when
the
it's
program
time-
that we had that he came all the way from Wari was for widows and widowers. So he just put a call through and said, I saw the advert and I'm not a widow, I'm not a widower, and I'll be interested to come. I just said, okay, come. So it was an empowerment program for widows and widowers. So when he came, and after the program, he left and said, Baba, I'm starting agribusiness. I said, okay, no problem. He has invited me to his program many times in Wari. And today I'm happy. He's now a landlord in Ogun State. He has his own farm. He's doing very well. He has his own factory.
Amazing.
He has his own school, farm school.
Amazing.
And that is one of the reasons why I said we need to do more. And I believe in the power of collaboration. To Bestie, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Yeah. You just buttress what doctor says, that don't seek to shake the hands of great men. Shake the land and great people will look for you. Thank you, Joshua Okiki. Thank you, Mr. Balogun, for always bringing up program for human development and empowering us mentally. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope to do more. That's one of the essence or the objectives of this channel. Is going global. Right now, I'm in the United States of America. I'm hoping to connect with a lot of great men and women that I'll bring on this show. I think we need to wrap up now, Doctor, because we have exceeded 1 hour 10 minutes. And but if you want us to bring Dr. Rume again, please say yes. Let me see your yes in the chat box. Let me see your yes. To Bestie, yes. Thank you so much, my grand mentor. I'm grateful. I'm deeply grateful for your impact on my life and adorable wife. Thank you. You guys, I'm happy.
Did I hear grand mentor?
Don't mind him, Daddy. That's how. don't mind him. Now, Jesus be our grand mentor. So, if you want us to bring the Dr. Rume again, please let me see your yes. Scatter the chat box with yes. Doctor, we can't exhaust enough of what you have to share with us. But
it will be an honor to be back. I just, however, I know you're rounding up, but I love to say something very quickly.
Okay, sir.
You can't give what you are not. And when short comes to push, when challenges come, and challenges will always come, not just economic.
Sure.
Life happens, all right? The ability to bounce back is a function of who we are. We have said that already. So to that end, I want to close with a few things.
Okay, sir.
Prayer is not enough, all right, to, as a matter of fact, to deal with challenges and to bounce back. In fact, if you remember, our Christ, our leader, our grand mentor,
our grand mentor, yes,
that when he leaves, he's going to send a helper. And when this helper comes, he says this helper will bring to remembrance all that you have on your inside. So the question is, when the helper wants to remind us, what will he find on our inside?
Wow.
That's the question. So to that end, as I wrap up, I want you to, please, I beg you, continue to read. Don't get tired, though. Don't be part of a generation that says, who book help, or who school help, or school na scam. Don't be part of that. So continue to upgrade. So I want to leave two materials.
Okay.
One I have read severally, and one I am reading now. As I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the one I'm reading now. I'm looking at it right now. A lot of people don't have access to it. But the first one that really has helped me to develop grit, what I call grit and resilience over time, is by John Maxwell.
Okay.
John Maxwell wrote a book many years ago titled Failing Forward.
Yeah.
Failing Forward. If you've ever seen it before or read it before, this is a good time to read it again. I promise you, all right, if you read through that material, all right, the stories upon stories over and over shared by Dr. Maxwell will encourage you. Every time it is time for you to give up, you will not try it. In fact, as I'm just talking to you now, I can share loads of stories with you. Loads. And when I say loads, I mean loads of stories. You know the way he writes.
Yes.
He writes with lots of stories. So that's one, Failing Forward by Dr. John Maxwell. Now, the most recent book was written in 2017, but it's something that I'm grateful for. I've been reading the excerpts, listening to her TEDx talks. I was in my mentor's office early this year. I think I was there February, and then I saw a copy of the book on his table.
Okay.
And I immediately went to buy my copy. It's titled Grits, G-R-I-T, Grits.
Okay.
G-R-I-T, Grits. Is written by Angela Duckworth. Angela Duckworth, all right? I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
You can thank me later.
G-R.
Those two materials.
G-R-I-T.
Okay. Yes. Great.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Mega, please come. Give me that book. This one there. And let me just show you. There's a red copy out there, but this is the book. All right, in case you can see it.
Okay, I'll look for it. Okay, sir.
Yes, please. You can get it on Amazon. That's how I got my own copy. All right, but please get it. It's going to help you a lot. All right. Okay. Why passion and resilience are the secrets to success. Wow. All right. Amazing material. Amazing material.
Okay.
I can't seem to get enough.
Thank
all right.
you.
This is how I read my books. So you can see this is fresh right there.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So this is me, and this is where I have to stop tonight.
Thank you so much
for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate your time and the wealth of knowledge that you just shared with us. And like I'm seeing, yes. Bring Dr. Rume Daniels again. Yes, we're going to have him again. We can't have enough of you because this is so loaded. And like he said, please don't join the school of thought that says reading or schooling or education is a scam. Every great leader is a reader. Every great leader is a reader. The last time I came to the US, I bought some books. I came with some books. I dropped them. Now, immediately I came back, I put my box, and this is one of the books I got last year. John Maxwell. See?
Amazing.
The laws of teamwork. I'm reading this book before I leave. I have a couple of books. There was one I showed you people yesterday on kingdom business, how you can use transforming missions through entrepreneurial strategy. This is another powerful book. Please, books are great materials for you to build resilience, and you can't go wrong with good books. After your Bible, get good books, and I pray that God will help you. So on this note, let's wrap up as we look for another time to bring Dr. Rume Daniels. And the audience, just drop a word for Dr. Rume, and let's close. And as we wrap up, I want you to send a heartfelt greetings to your wonderful wife. I hope to meet her one day by the grace of God, and your wonderful family. Thank you, and God bless you. So, beloved,
so much.
Yes. I don't shift to pastoral now. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you got value. You got value tonight, and I am sure that you will share this video with someone. I hope you will share this video with someone. Anyone that you know that should benefit from what you learned tonight, share this video and say, go and watch this video. And don't forget to also follow Dr. Rume's YouTube channel. Just look for Rume Daniels. Rume is spelled R-U-M-E.
R-U-M-E.
Daniels.
And then Daniels with an S.
There's S. R-U-M-E.
Yes.
Then Daniels.
Everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram.
Yes, he's everywhere. You need to follow this man. You need to follow him. I'm hoping to bring him on one of our physical conferences. I'm going to host him by the grace of God. Please watch out. Thank you so much to Bestie. Thank you, Adenike. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank
Joshua
you, everybody.
Okiki.
Good night.
I appreciate you. Good night,
Good
sir.
morning.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir. God bless you. So tonight, don't forget to connect with me on my second channel. We'll be praying, we'll be learning and praying on that channel. Taiwo Impact, Taiwo Balogun Impact. This is Taiwo Impact Podcast. So if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe. Also, Pastor Precious, thank you so much for connecting. Appreciate you. So on this note, let's close and do have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.